Welcome into SLA, the X League's official podcast. We were off air in December, a little bit of a COVID scare here in the studio, and we're back. January. I am your host, Mitch Mortaza. As always, joining me is Mr. Alex Saxon. We have a new face in the third chair, Miriah Lopez. Joining us here as a host. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, January, new year. Everybody feel different or same as 2020? Nothing's changed? Yeah.
Same thing.
Well, we did have Christmas. That was some normality, right? Got a chance to decorate a little bit and do some. I made a prime, I think. That was phenomenal. How'd you guys spend Christmas?
Main event, laser tag with the family.
What?
Ooh.
Yes.
Why didn't we get an invite?
Call.
That's a solid idea.
It was
Yeah.
fun. Family bonding.
We watched movies and drank wine. What did you do?
I hung out with the California family crew that I have here. So all my
Okay.
family's back home. So
Yeah, that's right.
Hung out with the boys, a couple beers, and
So, January, we got to get ready for certain things. One of the messages I'm getting a lot from fans, from coaches and athletes, obviously, is where do we stand with COVID in the upcoming season? So I want to give everybody kind of updated there. We're working really closely, primarily Jeremy Fisher, who's the league director of sports medicine. This guy's been at it for 20 plus years. He's currently also working with the NHL, so he knows what he's doing. First and foremost, he's working with the teams to make sure all the tryouts are safe. We just had a tryout in Los Angeles, and I saw everybody was wearing the masks, social distancing, we're contact tracing even the various positions for the agility test. So in case somebody gets it, you knew who was in that group.
hey, shout out to TJ Anderson too.
Yeah,
she
she's
literally was
amazing.
running around with hand sanitizer.
I saw that.
It was literally
Every ball she was like, okay, hand sanitizer.
she was on it.
She was on
Dude,
it.
she's also a killer nurse, by the way, on the front lines of COVID. So she's a very impressive young lady, also a defensive end for the Black Storm. But
Beast.
I was glad to see that everybody for our first open tryout, we were fortunate because that one's outdoors, right? The rest of them are all indoors, so we got to be a lot more careful. Beyond that, we've got the top 10 athletes that we recognize for 2020. We've got one of them sitting here right with us, Miss Miriah Lopez.
Whoa.
Such an honor.
That's out of hundreds of athletes, man. So that's pretty good. Anisha Shali came at top number one. I think you
Stud.
came in at 3 or 4.
5.
5, okay. Well, we'll get you into that top 3 next time.
Chugging along.
5, Mitch.
Five.
And then, you've had, several names kind of pop out at me there. Even Monica Ovella that came out of nowhere, the young lady from Mexico, who's really putting a lot of work down there. A lot of those girls aren't trying to come up and play in this league.
Yes. I think we have about 2.
You guys
For
have them on LA?
Mm-hmm.
LA, and then Austin obviously is recruiting a bunch of athletes from Mexico. Anisha is always impressive. I think for me, Ashley Morgan, the rookie from Los Angeles,
Yes.
that's who really stood out for me. She came in at number 2. She just gets after it. I mean, granted, this is what she does for a living as far
She
as
has her
training.
own gym and everything. She trains women, so she's very inspiring.
She was looking good at tryouts too.
Yeah, she was.
And she looks like she's got the football bug. We used to call when basketball was my first love, still is. And they used to call you a gym rat when you were in there playing ball all night, right? That's what she kind of reminds me of as a football player. She wants to learn the position. She's very raw, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
She has her own trainer too that teaches her, I think, middle linebacker.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah, she's training with him right now.
What do you think? Anybody stand out on that list? Or
I think I'm going to go with Cheyenne Verdorn. Just from the footage I've seen, and she looks fast. It'll be nice to see how she plays when you throw some pads on and really put her under pressure.
Right.
But she's someone definitely I'm looking at right now.
Well, she's a beast. We had her on the show early on. Like you said, you just don't know till you take a hit and how you respond to that, because we've had a lot of great athletes come into this league and walk right out the back door because they got their butt handed to them. So Cheyenne stood out. Yourself, excluding
If
you.
you couldn't pick yourself.
Ashley Morgan.
At number 5, you're going to say Ashley Morgan?
Yes, that's my pick. She's great. She's a baller, so.
Now, you guys had a couple. We have another LA Black Storm member on this show, and that's Cheyenne Ludick, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I don't think I am. What are your impressions of her?
She's fast.
You just met her, right?
Yeah, she's very sweet. She's very fast. Has a long body, so she covers a lot of ground.
She's very sweet and she's very
Very
fast.
sweet, very
That's
fast.
the scouting report the NFL needs to start using. Right?
Yeah, very great person. But yeah, she's going to be great. We're
Yeah.
expecting a lot from everybody, all of the rookies. So.
But speaking of guests, we've got a couple impressive ones on this show. We've got Carol, and I'm not going to pronounce either of these last names correctly, but Carol Bernanola of the Denver Rush, who's also 44 years old.
Wow, that's
and
amazing.
We're currently doing a cool feature story on her, which will be out pretty shortly. And then we've got Cheyenne Ludick, who we talked about at the LA Black Storm. We're going to start with Carol. So we're going to talk about what it means, for her, because she's got to take on. She's also a mom. I think a mom of 2 or 3 kids. She's got her own business, very successful, and she's doing this at the age of 44. So that's pretty impressive.
And she looks great. Her body is great. She's like abs and everything.
She looks phenomenal. But you know what? You can pull that off when you're in your 40s like this.
Yeah, get it. Get it.
Oh, happy late birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday. Happy late birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, 47. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. 47. Anyways, we're getting derailed. Thank you for that, by the way. Next up, we've got Carol Bernanola of the Denver Rush. When we come back, SLA, right after this. All right, welcome back into SLA, the official podcast of the X League. Mitch Mortaza alongside Alex Saxon and Miriah Lopez here in San Clemente, beautiful San Clemente. It's going to be 72 degrees here all week.
Let's go.
This weekend, man. Beach weather.
I love it.
Beach weather in January. Now, the young lady we have on the show now definitely is not seeing 72 degrees in Denver, Colorado. I doubt it. But let's bring in Carol. Let's bring in Carol Bernanola. Did I say that correctly?
Bernaola. You forgot the O this time, but it's all good.
Close enough.
Hi, thank you so much for having. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Hi, everyone.
It's great to have you on the show. Obviously, a lot of fans are curious about your life and what's going on. And this off season, one of the luxuries we have, we get to be storytellers. We get to tell who these girls are and what their lives are away from football. So, Carol has a very interesting background, and I'll let her kind of get into it. So, Carol, obviously you had a background in entertainment well before sports, so you're kind of used to the limelight to a degree. Talk to us about that a little bit.
Well, I was named the Playboy Playmate of the Millennium.
Hold up.
And I represented...
Of the Millennium.
Wow.
Yes.
Alex and I are blushing.
For another year.
For that.
For another 1,000 years. So, yeah. So I got the honors to represent Playboy for the Millennium.
Wow.
And they did a search around the world, and they ended up finding me and my identical twin sister. And we both won.
There's 2 of them.
Wow.
Now we're blushing.
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
that's pretty impressive. So that was early on entertainment. Now you're pretty active in the business world as well, correct? You have your own business, so
yes, I do have a construction business, and we build for the United States infrastructure in different countries like Israel. That's our main country, and I'm not in the daily business, but still definitely involved. Fortunately, a little bit more than ever this time.
Oh, wow. Okay. And you're able to do all that out of Denver, huh? So what's Denver like? It's one of my favorite cities, honestly. If it wasn't for the weather,
I love it.
That's where I would live.
The weather's amazing. I lived around everywhere, and I just love how people are here. They're very welcoming. Their kids are opening the door for you. They're saying good afternoon. They're talking to you, and is the type of place where I really wanted my children to grow up with those Midwestern values. And I'm really blessed to be able to land here, and I'm not moving.
Yeah, no, Denver's beautiful. There's no question about it. And to have kids to juggle that. So how many kids do you have? I think I was told you have 3 kids.
I have 3. My 19-year-old is going to UM, and oh my God, next week I'm going to Miami to take her. That's going to be so heartbreaking, and it's so exciting. I'm so proud of her. And I have my 12-year-old daughter, Sophia. That's my little angel. And my son, my gorgeous son, and he's 8 years old.
So that's a handful. And then right before we got on the show, you talked about having 3 silver labs too. So the obvious question is, again, how do you manage all this? I mean, you're pretty active in football now. You're training with the team, right? And I'm sure you train on your own a bunch as well, correct?
Yes, I do train 6 times a week on my own, and then with whatever the team is, what I do with the team. And you know what? I love what I do. I really enjoy being a mom. I love cooking. I love cleaning. I love doing my own stuff. And my children are in school most of the time. So I'm very blessed to be able to do what I do right now and have the opportunity.
How's the off season been for you? Because obviously you said it's impacted your business, COVID. It's impacted all of our lives and businesses, obviously. But, how have you been able to get past it? I mean, you have a pretty full life at home, so that's probably made it easier for you. How's COVID impacted you?
I have, the only thing that is impacting me is socially, to be truthful. And, of course, financially it has affected all of us, but other than that, I have really been trying to maintain a normal life and, block media so that I can not get too freaked out about it and just try to lead a healthy, normal life. But I really have tried not to look at the impact, although I do have a lot of family members that are suffering right now, and, people that I know close that I have lost. But is what the world is happening right now. And, at these times, it's just trying to be positive and pray and just do the best that we can.
Yeah, no, it's a tough period for all of us. Sorry to hear that you've lost people to it. It impacted my entire family. Luckily, I didn't lose anybody, but it's crazy. We had the Thanksgiving dinner here that was a super spreader. My brother had it. He was asymptomatic. He didn't know. Wow. Everybody but my sister and my niece escaped it. And it hit my brother-in-law pretty hard. It hit my parents pretty hard, myself. So it was nuts. But good to hear that you're battling it best you can. And again, sorry about the losses you had. But listen, I appreciate you being on the show. Like I said, you're fast becoming one of the team fan favorites, I would say. We're going to do a feature on you pretty soon here to kind of delve into your life a little bit. I know in Denver we have a transition in coaching staff, so we're monitoring that to see how that goes with Coach Hassan and your development for the year.
Yeah, they've been amazing. I'm really proud of my team. We have we have the veterans, and we have Nicole, KK, Ishe. We have our freaking amazing rookies that are coming up, like Allie. We have I got so many names, but I'm really proud of them and everybody putting their work. And you guys better watch, because this is a team that is not gonna be like the other years, and I'm really excited to be part of them. And I thank you so much for the opportunity for letting me accomplish a childhood dream.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be great. I think it's a compelling story, certainly, and I know there's interest from our reality production group as well to talk to you about it and kind of document what goes on in your life. And that's what it's all about. That's the special thing about our league, where we have 18-year-olds, and then we're going to have, older ladies. I'm not going to get into numbers.
44-year-olds. Oh my God.
I've learned
I
my
hope
lesson.
I have at least 3-4 more years good. I mean,
you got this, girl.
It's going to kind of look ridiculous at,
I think you're in better shape than you're in better shape than some of the 20-year-olds we've got. So
yeah, you look amazing.
Keep doing what you do, Carol.
It's fun running past them. Well,
it's great having you on the show, Carol.
Thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate you taking a few moments during this crazy time to meet with us and get in front of our fan base. And best of luck to you. We'll see you out in Denver pretty soon.
Thank you to all the fans. Mwah, thank you for seeing me, and thank you for liking me.
That is Carol Bernanola. Next up, we've got another newer face in the X League. We've got Cheyenne Ludick, one of your teammates from the Los Angeles Black Storm. She had her first real experience at the open tryout this past Saturday. I think you got a chance to see her too,
she
Alex.
Looks fast.
So, yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
She did really great.
I'm hearing she's a beast. And you know what? She's got a modeling background too. So maybe she was of this millennium or something of Playboy or what. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. I did not know that.
And twins.
All right, when we come back, we have Cheyenne Ludick of the Los Angeles Black Storm when we return. SLA. All right, welcome back to SLA once again in beautiful San Clemente, California. Mitch Mortaza, Alex Saxon, and Miriah Lopez. And our next guest is Cheyenne Ludick, brand new face with the Los Angeles Black Storm. Had her first experience at the LA Open tryouts this past Saturday. I hear she's a bit of a speed demon, so we'll ask her about that. Welcome into the show, Cheyenne.
Thank you very much, Mitch. Happy to be here.
Well, listen, let's really get into this thing, okay? You've got a pretty extensive background as well. We had Carol Bernanola of the Denver Rush on, and we found out she was the Millennium Playboy Playmate or something of that sort, which was very interesting. Now, you've got a pretty extensive modeling background as well, so get us into that a little bit. How involved is that career?
Yeah. So I played sports in college, and I actually left college to move to New York City to pursue modeling. And I lived in New York City for 6 years. Got published in Maxim, Playboy, Esquire, Now Muscle and Fitness, and countless other magazines and features. So that's really exciting as well, including sports magazines. So ties into the sports and football as well.
Awesome. So why the transition to football? Is a sport you've always watched, wanted to get involved with? Why that transition?
I have actually been emailing with the prior league for 5 years to try and convince them to make another New York team, because I remember there was the New York Majesty when the league was first created. But unfortunately, that never happened. So when I moved to LA, the first thing I thought of was I need to play football. I really, really want to just try out for the team.
Yeah, so what's that first experience? What was it like when you were at open tryout? I mean, is that kind of what you expected going in terms of the agility testing and everything? Or is it tougher? Is it easier?
Well, I'm pretty trained as it is right now for modeling as well, to keep my body fit. But it was not so difficult as I expected. It was good.
You haven't been hit yet, though, right?
No, not yet.
We'll see when those pads come on, like we said earlier with Cheyenne Verdorn. You just don't know.
I don't want her running at me with pads on either, because I don't want to get hit by her either.
Yeah, right. She's pretty ripped up. She could be kind of the Brittany Baker type, is what I'm hearing of the Chicago Blitz.
How tall are you?
How tall are you, Cheyenne?
Oh, I'm 5'10".
What position ideally, if you could be the coach and pull your own position, what position would that be?
I would love to play wide receiver. I have the height, I have the arm length, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, speed.
You got the speed. I think a tight end in our game might be better.
Ooh.
Right? Because she's got the frame. Otherwise, you're kind of wasting that size on the outside. Just thinking as a football guy here. You know, if you use her inside, she's a tight end. She can block. She's fast. She can release. Because that's the difference in our game versus 11s, right? Everybody's fast. Everybody has agility. The center goes out on routes. I mean, like a Misty Gonzalez, perfect example, right?
Yep.
It sounds like Cheyenne's faster than Misty, but, you know, she's one of those types of weapons. She can block on the inside and catch footballs. So that's awesome. So LA Black Storm is where you ended up. Now, why the move to Los Angeles from New York? Is that where the career path has led you? Or
I just wanted to switch it up a little bit. I wanted to try something new. I've been in New York for quite a while, many, many years, and I wanted to get some beach life in my life before I settle down. Yeah,
no, I spent my first 20 years in the Hollywood Hills, and I love LA. But I mean, it's one of those awesome places that you have to experience, right?
Yeah, the weather here already compared to New York, definitely beats it.
Day and night. Day and night. So what's the camaraderie like? I know it's very early on. You probably even haven't had a chance to meet Miriah Lopez, who's in studio with us right now. But have you got a chance to meet any of the girls? Was that an opportunity on Saturday?
Absolutely. I met all of the girls, and they're really, really sweet. Everyone's super talented and athletic, and they're very welcoming as well. They're hard on us. It's good, but they're welcoming also. And I'm excited to get to know them more.
Have you been in that space at all? Have you been part of a series prior, docuseries? Is that part of the...
Yes, I actually have. I have been on an entire series before on WeTV. And it was called America's It Girl. It was kind of a cross between, I want to say, America's Next Top Model and a pageant. So that was pretty interesting.
Wow. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think we're going to be a little different than that.
Right?
Just a little bit.
I would hope so. I don't want to go back into that realm. But, TV stuff.
Yeah, it's cool because I know they did a blanket search, the reality production company. They're also obviously talking to Miriah and Marissa there. That's a very interesting story. So several LA girls have piqued their interest. You're one of them. And you know what? With your speed and size, everything I'm hearing from Saxon and talking briefly to Rory Derry, head coach of the Los Angeles Black Storm, you could be one of those surprise stories of 2021. It sounds like. Welcome to our city of Los Angeles. Well, listen, Cheyenne, appreciate you taking the time being on the show. We'll try to get you on again before the season. And welcome to the X League.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Awesome. That is Cheyenne Ludick of your Los Angeles Black Storm. As we hear, she may be a star wide receiver in this league. And before we sign off, something I forgot to do in the first segment, we got to keep introducing these new members, but we got to start razzing them in some way. This is way too easy. Remember we used to tape them to when – well, that's still going to happen. But, when we travel, any new athlete we have, any new member of our travel squad, we saran wrap them to those pallets.
Oh, perfect.
no.
At the end of the night. We did that to you.
No.
Come on.
Are you kidding me?
We've never done that to you.
I would love to see
And
you
you've
try.
never seen anybody
I
do
would
that?
love- now-
You're nuts.
We could do Lil Train.
We're doing that.
We'll saran wrap her in a
I'll tackle
heartbeat.
everybody.
Let's introduce Austin Teagard. Austin, come on in and say hi, man. Austin is going to be part of the logistics team and also working with our coaches primarily. You've got a football background.
Yeah.
On the media side as well. So Saxon is hanging on by a little thread here. So
chill.
Talk to us about your podcasting and your background in media.
Yeah, so when I was in college, I found a huge love for radio, found a huge love for media, every different aspect. And I thought after I got my degree, I can dive into multiple different parts. And so thanks for you guys for hiring me. So now I can definitely try my footing in just about everything. And it's been great so far.
Yeah, we've got you working on your first feature article already, so we'll see what that goes like, and hopefully a podcast here, and we'll get you popping in on the show from time to time as well. Welcome to the team, man. All right, take care. And then you guys have met everybody else. I think we're pretty caught up, right? Oh, no, Stevan, come on. All right, we've got a new editor on SLA, okay? We're going to definitely miss Alex Montone, who is incredible talent. Stevan's got big shoes to fill, right?
I do have, so stepping on, some big shoes.
There you go. You're an editor. What's your main background? Editing and shooting, right?
Primarily shooting, but secondary would be editing, yes.
How would somebody find your stuff online to check it out?
You can check my Instagram. Actually, I have a new Instagram. I'm trying to do a new brand with my wife called The In Between. So we're just marketing, some content, creating stuff. And then you can also check on our website, which is theinbetween.com.
Awesome, man. Welcome to the SLA team.
Thank you.
All right. We got your first show. No pressure. We need it in 48 hours. Get going, right? All right, guys. That will wrap up our January show of Suite Level Access. Miriah Lopez joining us. Thank you for that. We'll hopefully get you back for the February one. Maybe we'll do like a Valentine's one.
Ooh.
Everybody
Dress
dresses
up.
up in their favorite Cupid outfit. Deal?
I'm going to wear the same
You're gonna bring the same
Budweiser
black
outfit.
whatever.
No, it's just going to be the Budweiser outfit again. 'Cause that's all I own is red.
Well, that'll do it for us. Thank you for joining us from San Clemente, California. We bid you adieu.